Welcome to Living a Life by Design. It's the journey back to you and living 365 days of purpose with your host, Esther Graham. Did you know your accountability and possibility is by design? God designed a phenomenal life for you, gave you the gift of choice. Esther helps empower you to discover and pursue the purpose that is already in you. Are you ready to look at yourself and see your future? Then get back to what is really important in life and get in alignment with your true self. Stay tuned to Living a Life by Design. Journey back to you and start living 365 days of purpose with your host, Esther Graham. It all starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Life by Design podcast. It's so good for you to see you again and for you to join me on this beautiful, wonderful Friday. And today we have our very special guest, Rosaline Gordon of the Gordon Group Financial Services. And as she's going to come on and greet you in a few minutes and tell you a little bit more about her. But I am super excited to have Rosaline with us on this evening because you guys know this is December. We're approaching the ending of the year. I think we're probably maybe about 10 days, a little less than 10 days to the ending of the year. And for entrepreneurs, business owners, this is the time where we're hustling, not only for the holiday season and trying to enjoy that, but we're headed into tax season. And we've got to also, begin to think about taxes and what we need to close out before the ending of the year, and just so many other things that we have to do, including projecting out 2024. So how great it is, I should say, to have Rosaline here with us. So Rosaline, please reintroduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do in the world, how you help entrepreneurs, business owners, and then let's get started with a powerful, juicy conversation.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Rosaline Gordon. I'm the CEO and founder of the Gordon Group Financial Services. We are a boutique business management firm and tax advisory firm, and we're located in Islip, New Jersey. And one of the things that I like to do is, I realize that finance is a very, very sensitive topic. And a lot of people get a headache with just the mention of the words accounting, IRS, and taxes, right? And it's so interesting to find out that I think it's over 52% of adults have issues around those topics. So it's good to say that if anyone has any anxiety over that, you're not alone, right? But
I think I'm in the 52%. Yeah.
But the truth is that if you're going to be a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, and even if you're just an individual at any level, there's going to be one thing that you have to face, definitely, that you have to face in life, right? And that's taxes. And if you're going to be a business owner and an entrepreneur, you're going to have your books together. You've got to know your numbers.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So one of the things that we do, well, mostly all of what we do at the Gordon Group Financial Services, is that we eradicate that fear and anxiety around, the finances. We try our very best to have people know that we create a safe space of non-judgment, so they can just come in and just tell us the truth. And that we can help them, achieve overall success with their finances and bring good results to them. And one of the ways that we help eradicate that fear and bring good results is some proactive planning. Yeah. Okay. And we've been able to save our clients anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 in tax savings. So it brings my heart joy to know that I'm able to do that for a lot of business owners, especially when it becomes difficult to get funding. Yeah. So one of the ways we help is to kind of dig in there, look into their business to find ways that they can get money, is to keep going, keep moving.
Yeah. I love that. Two important words that you use in as you were explaining what you do. One is boutique, right? For boutique services that you provide, and then you eradicate. I think those are two powerful words. I know for me that boutique services is so important because for me that means that one-on-one you're walking me through, and I know that
Yes.
to be a fact. So kind of talk to me a little bit, share with the audience, what exactly, when you say boutique services, what are some of the services that you provide?
Well, we provide client accounting services, and that's basically what we will sit with a business owner who at this point has so much going on creatively in their business that they can no longer manage that accounting. Sometimes for
Yeah,
cash purposes or whatever, when we start, we're doing everything. And at that point, they can no longer handle their bookkeeping and accounting. So they come and they outsource that part of their business to us. And then the other part of the business that I love mostly is the tax advisory service. This is where we take a holistic approach to your finances, because you can't just look at the business without looking at the individual. And
yeah.
we create a plan customized specifically for you that will help you do so many things, save money on taxes, build wealth, provide asset protection. So that's some of the things that we do here at the Gordon Group.
Yeah. I think what I really like about the boutique services, because honestly, I'm a boutique shopper, even when it comes to clothing or anything, I'm a boutique shopper. I like the personal attention. And I like the fact that when I come in, number one, it's a no judgment zone, it's a very safe space. And then it's you looking at me, it's not a cookie cutter.
No.
It's, and so you're looking at everything I'm doing with even questions, y'all. And some of the questions I'm like, ooh, what is the answer to that? You know what I mean? But that's what's good about it, because what that tells me is that you're very interested in what I'm doing and my success. So really your boutique services is to really help business owners, entrepreneurs. If you're a solopreneur, if you've got anything, and as you said, your personal and your business, you're interested in helping us to be successful holistically all the way around.
Yes. So
Yeah,
listen,
yeah,
let me tell you, there is a power in partnerships.
yeah,
And I believe that one of the most important relationships a person can have is with your financial professional.
yeah,
Make them your BFF.
yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really important. I was explaining to someone just a couple of days ago, Rosalind, that called me, and he's about to start his own business. And I was explaining, I said, and he called just off the cuff and asking questions. I said, well, those are deep questions. These aren't like off the cuff, questions that one can answer. And I said, but what I will tell you, I can refer you, but what I don't want you to do is make the mistake I made
Hmm.
when I first started. And to a certain point, I believe that I'm still paying for that mistake because I went to, let's say, cookie cutter. And because it was a cookie cutter type of thing, mistakes were made. Right.
Yes.
And sometimes you're paying for that mistake for years to come. So part of my goal, especially in this conversation, is if you are a business owner, and whether you've been in it for 5 years, 10, however long, or you're just starting off, you want to make sure that you're on that right track.
Yes.
And so what I love about the boutique services is that if you're starting out, then this is the great place to go and start. Let's start you out right. But if you're already in it, I can take you back and let's go ahead and let's redesign. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
sometimes we just have to redesign what we're doing.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. And it's very important that you, as business owners and professionals, that you take that relationship beyond what you imagined it to be,
Yes.
because there's a few of us out here who see more in it than what this cookie cutter idea, what it was before. And it's important that you don't necessarily wait till the end of the year or during tax time. You should at least make time to spend time with that person, at the very least quarterly, to see where
Right.
you are, where your numbers are, and what you need to do to plan out to have success towards the end of the year.
And I like that, to plan out to have success, because what business owner is in business not to make money?
That's right.
You know, and yeah, we're in business to make money, and we, at times I feel that I've been made to feel bad about making money when, oh, you got to be careful how much you make because you'll have all these taxes to pay and this and that. And so it's like sometimes getting conflict in information, but we're in business to make money. We're in business to build wealth.
That's right. One of the things that I like about your show is that you've talked a few times about the power of intention,
Yeah.
right? And I love to hear you talk about it because when you think about the word intention, it creates that seed.
Mhm.
And you can shift it and you can take that seed and you can plant it for good and you can, do the other thing with it. But most importantly, it allows you to explore the mindset around money. You're supposed to be able to look at some of your beliefs about it and maybe understanding that can help you make smarter decisions around it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so true. I tell you what, I know in my journey as an entrepreneur, again, getting some really bad advice at the beginning, and I feel I'm still paying for that in some ways right now. But just beginning to look and say, okay, as I go to this next level, as I reach newer heights, there's some things that I know, again, going back and relooking, I need to change. There's some things that just need to shift. And so I'm saying, okay, I need to get a person that's very familiar with what I'm doing and can take me to that next level, spend that time with me, give me the boutique services
Right.
that I
Personal.
really want. Yeah, because I'm not the financial person. That is one thing, many things.
Yeah.
Finances, I'm not the financial person. You
Right.
understand? I tell my team that when I sit down to do the numbers and do the books, I have to focus. I can't multitask that, you know,
Yeah. Well,
because
it does need that
it
personal,
does.
you really do. And it's really good to partner up with someone who that's what we do all day, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
That's your wheelhouse. When that's not my wheelhouse, that's not my zone of brilliance.
yeah,
So
it
let me
really
stay in
gives
my zone of brilliance and let me free that up so I could do what I'm good at.
right, create new possibilities, right?
Yeah, create
Yeah, and
new
that's one of the
you.
things we love to do here. We
Yeah,
love to just take over those fiduciary responsibilities so that
yeah.
the business owners can free up the time and do what they really are created to do.
And here is something else that you said, or when you and I spoke. It's you're providing that CFO services, whether it's part-time, it's the CFO. And so as a small business owner, many we don't have, we are like my father would say, we're the chief cook and bottle washer.
Yes.
Right. And when you're starting off and you're building your company, that's what you are because you're building the wealth, you're building everything. But then there comes a point to where you've got to say, this is way too much and I can't do this anymore. But you need a CFO, you need to partner with someone.
Yeah, because you can only go so far.
Yeah.
You need to partner up and find out, okay, I brought myself to this level. Okay, I need to move to the next part
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
What can you do? What are some ideas that you have to help my business to start to flourish?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's very important, that relationship, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. To start to flourish.
to
That's
start to
key
flourish.
right there, is to
Mhm.
start because again, as business owners, we're in business to make money. We're in business to make a profit. All right.
Mhm.
End of story. If you're not in business to make a profit, then the question is, why are you in business? What is your intention?
And if I may interject, it's more than just making a profit.
Yeah.
It's about creating wealth, creating a different
Yes.
lifestyle. Because you can
Yeah.
create a profit. What does that really look like? What does that mean?
I
But
love that.
you're
Yeah.
doing this so that you want to change your life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then if you change your life, then you can change all the lives of the people that are looking for you,
Yeah.
right?
The people that are looking for you, the people that surround you, and then you could provide even greater services. So yeah,
Yes, yes.
wonderful. It's not just about making a profit. What does it look like? It's really about building wealth, right?
Building wealth.
Yeah.
building wealth.
And I love this piece because when you're building wealth, then you have a heart to serve, then you've got the wealth to serve.
Yes, yes. It goes
It's
beyond
not a
you.
burden, it goes beyond you, and it's not a
Yes.
burden to you. This is like, oh yeah, this is overflow here. I can
Mm-hmm.
easily serve this. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I love. That's what. So you also said, hold on, let me say, I think we're about to take a quick break, everyone. And so let's do that. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and speak with Rosaline about eradicating, because that is a powerful word. Eradicating our old mindsets, creating new neural pathways, right? Setting
Mm-hmm.
you intentional, being intentional about everything that you are doing, and just and then creating space to get it done.
That's
Like
right.
make it, that's me creating space. Listen, I'm talking, but I'm talking to me too, everybody. Like there's some things I know I have to do, and so now I'm aware, having that self-awareness. How can I begin to eradicate some things so I can move forward? So we'll be right back in just a couple seconds. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Life by Design podcast, where my very special guest is Rosaline Gordon from the Gordon Group Financial Services. And y'all, I have to tell you, I'm super excited about the conversation because, believe it or not, this conversation isn't just for you. This conversation is for me as well. So you know how, in church they say you're preaching to the choir. This is I hear, right? So just being transparent, this is a powerful conversation because this helps me as well when I think about what I'm doing in 2024. As I sit and I'm thinking about how now can I move up to that next level as I am building wealth in my organization, as I am building personal wealth. What are the next steps? And I want to make sure that I have a clear path. And I figure if I need it, then I'm sure many of you out there that are entrepreneurs, wherever you are, that whether you're starting out or you're on that path, been doing it a while, you could be a solopreneur, or you could be a parallelpreneur, meaning that you still have your 9 to 5 job, but you've started this other business. Until that begins to be able to sustain you, you'll keep your 9 to 5. Wherever it is, you have to make sure that the financial piece, everything is all together so you can build that wealth. And again, with Rosaline and the Gordon Group, they're not just about doing your taxes, which is what I love. It's the boutique services. It's building wealth. So it's not just, Rosaline she does your taxes. She can do your payroll. She can be your CFO, all of these things. It's just an array of services, which, by the way, as I've looked into many other accountants and they don't do all of that. And why? Because not everybody has a clear understanding of what that really looks like. Right.
Right.
But Rosaline does all of that and has been successful. So let's talk a little bit more about that, but let's talk about how you eradicate, old mindsets, just eradicate whatever it is. So can we talk about that just a little bit? What does that mean? And what does that look like? And if you have some examples, if you can share that with us, that would be great.
Okay. Well, basically what happens is I'll use a phrase that everyone really knows. Knowledge is power. So
Yeah.
a lot of the fear and anxiety around finance is because you don't know.
Yeah.
So instead of talking to clients on a high level and quoting IRS codes, we just have a conversation, basically what we're having today. One example is I was just explaining to a client the other day who has a business and is trickling along to almost being somewhat of a hobby. So I explained to them about, and I use the word capitalization.
Yeah.
Right. So capitalization basically is used when you have more expenses, you have expenses, but you really don't have any revenue.
Right.
And instead of taking this year after year, which could trigger the IRS to consider your business as a hobby, we capitalize those expenses. So she says to me, well, what is that? I don't know. So that's when you make your expenses an asset on your books until you're ready to use it. So simple things like that. And so she got an understanding about it. One of the most important things that I can stress enough to talk to clients about until I'm blue in the face. You'll see it on my social media year in, year out. Every workshop that I talk to, I bring up that whole concept of cash flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. Cash is king, right?
Yeah.
So when you develop a good cash flow and you develop good cash flow strategies, it's very crucial to your business for stability and profitability. And that's what every business owner wants. They want to be stable. They want to be profitable. It gives you an opportunity to understand where your cash is going. It gives you an opportunity to understand where your cash needs will occur. So just breaking down simple financial terms to clients gets them on the road to this freedom from fear of not understanding their finances. And I think that's where it all begins.
Yeah. It's the fear. It's eradicating the fear
Mm-hmm.
of the finances. I know, Rosaline, for me, and I think I told you this before, that, because of how I feel about finances and my business, I just began to read all different kinds of book on finances. But one of the things I did about, I think it was last year or year before last, I was like so stressed out about taxes. I think I told that I actually enrolled in a
Yeah.
whole tax course.
Yes.
I have to tell you, that's what I realized. I did, in the entire tax course, as if I was going to be like, someone that does taxes at the end of the year. So, and learning the regular and all of these different things. And it was good. It was a good course. But that has to really be your wheelhouse. That has,
Yeah, it really has to be your wheelhouse. But at the same time, can you say that when you took the course, there were certain things about it that you learned that
Oh,
made you
yes.
less afraid, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Than
definitely.
before you
Yeah.
took the
That
course,
before I
right?
did. So that was that was the benefit for it. I said to someone, I said, I have absolutely no interest in doing anybody's taxes, or I don't even want to do my own. So, I'd have,
Yeah,
but what was great about the course was I learned a lot of things, and I learned a lot of things that's out there for us, which made me also do just a little bit more digging and
mm-hmm.
investigation on what is really out there for me, and how can the taxes and IRS and everything that I do be on my side, so to speak, that I don't have to have a fear of it.
Right. And what did you do with that? You went and you had a conversation
At a
with your
conversation.
financial professional, right? And
Yeah.
you was like, hey, what about this? What about that?
Yeah.
And sometimes, sometimes even that's enough to get them motivated to
Yeah.
say,
It
well,
was.
let's see
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
can do
Yeah.
for Esther. Let's
Yeah.
see. I don't want her coming here asking me
Yeah.
asking me about something, and then we uncover that I could have been doing something else for her.
Yeah.
So it does just like how with any relationship, right? You
Yeah.
piggyback off of me, I piggyback off of you to create a good outcome.
Yeah.
And I
And
think that that's so important.
yeah, I think that's it. It's because to create a good outcome. One of the things that you speak about is seamlessly weaving personal and business goals together. And I'm just reading this, to
Mhm.
set yourself up for success. So can you just speak to us a little bit about how can we seamlessly weave our business and because we have to business
Yeah.
goals together, so
So
to create
all
that
of
success.
yeah, all of that has to do with planning. This is another topic that I'll
Yeah,
speak to till I'm blue in the face, right? So one of the things that you do is during the course of the year, and I recommend you do this every quarter at the least, is just kind of talk to your financial professional about your goals and what your needs are, right? Your personal goals, your personal needs, what you
yeah,
want for the business. And then, just kind of inquire, do you have any strategies? Because the IRS, I always say this and people say, what? The IRS can really be your friend.
yeah.
And when I
I
say
didn't
that,
believe it when you told me that either. So, oh,
when I say that, I'm saying that they've created all of these codes that can really benefit us as business owners. And it's just about tapping into it and knowing what's available, right? So in addition to running the Gordon Group, I also am a licensed insurance agent. And insurance is not mom and pop insurance.
Right.
Insurance has transformed so much over the last couple of years. And they've even got a little synergy going with the IRS, where if you know the correct strategies, you can do some very good planning
Yeah.
that will affect you personally and your business.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just about knowing what strategies are available, applying them to your specific need, and getting the ultimate outcome that'll benefit your both personal and professional lifestyles.
So let's repeat that, make sure. So it's knowing again the strategies that are the strategy or
Knowing
what
the tax strategies that are available for
that
you.
are available,
Mhm.
then applying it to what your
Applying it to what your specific needs and goals are,
okay.
so that you
Yeah.
can get
The
the
outcome,
results that you want
right.
personally and professionally.
Yeah, personally and professionally. And
Yeah.
so one of the questions I had, again, it's amazing that we're having this conversation. I like to say this is how I know this is God. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because I was just speaking with someone again this weekend, new person, they've been an entrepreneur, like maybe a parallelpreneur for a while. And so they're now ready to like seriously launch their business. And they had all of these questions. And I said something just similar to, I said, you have to know what your personal and what your business goals are, because somehow they have to come together. So they were asking questions such as, well, your personal, do you use your social security? Do you get a EIN number? And it was all of these questions. And I said, well, again, this is where you really have to sit with a professional,
Mhm.
someone who knows what they're doing and what they're talking about, to give you the proper advice as to what's really best for you. So if someone, Rosaline, is new coming into the business, and we could talk about this when we come back from our break, what would be something that you would tell? What would be the first thing? This is what you need to do. You meet with your tax person. You're now ready to start your business. What's the first thing that you need to do? And so we'll come back with that answer in just 1 minute or less. See you in a second. Welcome back to the Life by Design podcast with my guest, Rosaline Gordon, y'all, Gordon, from the Gordon Financial Services located in New Jersey, but she serves people all over the United
Yes, we
States of
do.
America. So don't let New Jersey stop you. No, she will serve you as well. So, Rosaline, when we went on break, I began to talk about what would you tell a person that's beginning? They're now looking, I'm going to start my business. What was some of the things that you would just share with them? That this is what you need to do, whether you're about to start or you're a parallelpreneur and you still have your job, but you have your business, because that's business and personal. So
Yes.
what,
Yeah.
yeah.
So one of the things I always say is to make sure that what you're doing can make money, right? So that's one of the things that will decide the most important thing, which is entity structure. And then also mindset, because some people might think that they want to run a business or start a business, they really don't understand all that's involved, and they really may not be prepared for it. But
Yeah.
either way, let's say we have someone who is prepared for it. One of the most important decisions you're going to make initially is your entity structure. It could be the difference from saving a couple of $100 or owing a couple of thousand,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And
true.
all that also depends on the type of revenue you anticipate having, right? So you want to make sure you have the proper entity structure. That's one of the first things. You want to have those protections in place, because you want to be able to separate yourself from the business, just so that you won't incur that kind of liability should something go wrong. So that's one of the first things that we look at, and you consider your entity structure.
Good. And then I know that when I started off in looking at the entity structure, my advisor at the time, and again, this was years ago, gave me the wrong advice in terms of my entity structure. And so that's what really began for, I don't know if can I say this on, it screwed me over. Sorry, y'all, don't get offended. I hope I can say, but yeah, it was awful. It was awful. And so that piece, knowing exactly, because I like what you said, because that can determine if it's going to be a couple $100 or $2,000. And that's a vast difference. It's also a
especially
difference
for a new business owner.
especially. And then it also determines, are you double paying taxes?
Exactly.
Because believe it or not, there's such a thing as double paying your taxes. And you could say, well, if it's double paying, they'll just send me back my money. No, they're not going to do that. So there's such a thing as, and so that's why that's important, is knowing exactly what the structure that you're going to have. Why? So you can maximize. That's what I want to maximize
maximize your tax savings, definitely.
Maximizes. The other thing I want to ask you to speak towards too is that oftentimes, especially today, many entrepreneurs work from home, their home office. And I know that there's several people, tax accountants or otherwise, that many times deter you from claiming your office at home, but that's where you work. That's and I've never understood, but if this is where I work, why should I not be able? That's another tax savings. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. And there are so many ways to, first of all, one of the things that you need to know, if this is in the tax code, right? And you check off all of the boxes,
right?
There's no reason why you should not be able to take that tax deduction. I will say, before I even started out doing taxes, which is one of the things that led me to it, was a similar situation. I was going through a divorce, and of course, my status now was changing from married to single or something in between. So the tax person prepared my taxes, and he told me I had a balance due. And I said to him, well, is there something that you can do? And he was like, no. And then I said, well, I think I'm supposed to file head of household. And he was like, no, 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 you're not going to file head of household. You're divorced. You're single. So I said, no, I'm not going to file that day. I went home, and I was in the finance industry. I did the research myself, and I realized that I qualified for head of household, which filing that way alleviated the tax liability. And I had to bring it to him and show him, hey, I have to help myself, sir. You're going to file me head of household, and that's it, and that's all. Right? And so the point is, again, about having the knowledge. And unfortunately, not everyone is going to be as skilled as I was, because I was in the industry, to know the difference. But the whole thing is to ask a question. One of the things that we're doing new at the Gordon Group is we're recently updating our website. And on our website, it's going to be loads of content on there for people who may not be able to afford our services at the time initially, but they can go on there and get their questions answered by the content and everything that's going to be on there just for them. But it's important to know. And unfortunately, some things slip by because you don't know, but it's important to ask a question. If someone says to you, you can't take a deduction, it's important for you to ask them why and to show you why. And if they can't do that, maybe you should get a second opinion.
Yeah, definitely agree. I mean, I remember one time I was told, well, you make too much money, so that's why your taxes are like this. Because, and I thought, well, I mean, that just didn't
that's
even make sense
ridiculous.
to me. That's ridiculous. How can you
At
tell me I
least,
make too much money? What's too much
At least
money?
that's not the answer,
That's
right?
not the
The answer
answer.
said, well, you made money this year, so that's what increased your tax
Yeah,
liability.
yeah,
Let's see what we can do to lower the tax liability.
yeah.
And that should not be an end of year conversation, because at the end of the year, there's very little that you can do, or you'd have to try and rush and get it all done,
And get it all
right?
done. Yeah.
So I can repeat this again. It's best to, when you're in business, speak to your financial person at least once a quarter. Know where you are with your numbers so that you can do the proper planning and you're not surprised at the end of the year with a tax bill.
So when you speak to your financial advisor on a quarterly basis, are there specific questions that you should ask them?
Yes, basically, you want to know, what is my net income for this quarter, right?
And they
And
should have all of that. They should be able to tell you.
they should have that if you're working with them in that way. Yes.
Yes.
What is
Okay.
my net income for the quarter? And it's not just one-sided. You also supposed to tell them what you're projecting as far as income for the next quarter.
Right.
So it works hand in hand, okay? So they tell you what your net income is for the first quarter, you tell them what you're projecting for the next quarter, and you guys sit down and come up with a plan. Because more than likely, half of the year is going, I mean, a lot can change. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, there's a lot of variables.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you're a business owner and you're consistent with your revenue and so forth, and you have plans on making more or so forth and so on, you kind of know by the middle of the year if you're going to owe taxes or not. And you can work together and draw a plan to alleviate that liability.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, y'all, this is a great conversation. This is the perfect time to have the conversation. And really, you might be saying, well, how is this a part of Life by Design? No, if you're a business owner, and even if you're not, your personal, your taxes and what you have to pay and what you have to do is a part of living that life by design, because it all goes into how you're living. You know what I mean? If
Yes.
you're living well, if you're living in success. So really, this conversation is setting you up for success. We're about to go on another break, and when Rosaline comes back, I'm going to ask her to share three things that business owners need to know, especially coming down to the end of the year. What are three things that maybe you could take immediate action on and do as we're coming to the end of the year? The other thing I want to share with y'all real quick, I don't know if you can see it. Joe, can y'all see it good? So, Business in Action. Rosalind sponsors this book, and you have to connect with her to get it, right? And so, but this is an excellent book. I love getting this book every month, and because it always has good information in it, right? Really good information. And so I want to encourage you, and listen, when we give you all of her information and we'll post it, you'll be able to know how to connect with her. And again, she just shared her website that you will also be able to get lots of information with questions that you may have. So let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Life by Design podcast with my special guest, Rosaline Gordon from the Gordon Financial Services, located in New Jersey. However, she serves people all over the United States, right? And
Yeah.
so we're having I want to say it's a powerful, juicy. Some may want to say it's even, if you can think of taxes as being sexy, we're talking about numbers,
Yeah, those numbers are sexy when you can build wealth, right?
And you can build wealth. Those numbers are sexy. And listen, we all know that when you can build wealth, wealth creates wonderful memories.
Yes,
You
yes.
get to create great memories when you can build your wealth and you don't have the stress of some things. You don't have the
I agree.
stress of the financial parts of your business or your personal life and all of that. This is why this conversation is so important. And maybe conversations like this need to take place even more as we're having more and more people stepping out into entrepreneurship.
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
And
go ahead.
it's definitely good to not even keep it to yourself, but
Yeah.
extend it out to your family.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
definitely. And not and to children, right? So
yes, especially
we
children.
especially we want to teach our kids. I've got my grandloves, and I teach it, especially the oldest one, because he's where he could understand. Let's look at what's your allowance, what are you getting? You know what I mean? And how are you
How are you
saving it?
spending?
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. And so teaching him so he doesn't think as he does right now, it's Christmas time and he, had this long list. I was like, well, wait a minute. Well, let's but as a tool to teach, that money doesn't fall off of trees, and here it is. Let's value money.
Right.
I think that we have to teach our young people, and I know this is like going down a rabbit hole maybe for right now, but we do have to teach them how to value money. Money should be valued,
Yes.
yeah, and not be taken for granted as if it's just, it's just
And managed money stays.
manage money stays. I love
Stays.
that. Yes, manage money stays. And when it stays, that's how you're building wealth, right?
Yes.
Also, that's how you're also able to make investments, because I know that one of the services you also provide is investment, right?
Yes. Yes.
Investment services.
Yes.
So
We're
all of that's
linked.
powerful.
Yes, we're linked to uh, hundreds of professionals who are very smart with investing money. And on the insurance side of things, I do a little bit of that with my clients too, in a safe zone,
Yeah,
as you
yeah.
will, especially with the bear market we are experiencing now and have been experiencing for quite a while.
Yeah, I love that. Again, this goes back for me to the boutique services. I love boutique
Yes.
shopping, and I like that personal attention. I often tell people, especially when, I'm going in for that one-on-one service, it's like you have to talk to me like I'm a 2-year-old. I don't understand. So you're going to have to break it down to me so I can understand it, right? Because I need to hear it, I need to internalize it, you know, think on it,
Digest it.
digest it so I can be able to speak it back and and really just take it all in. And so what I love is that those are the type of services you provide. It's the boutique services to where, okay, let me take this in, let me process, let me think about it, let me think about all, because I don't understand. That's not my
Right.
wheelhouse. That's not my
Right.
zone of brilliance.
And the
And so,
beauty of boutique shopping too is not everyone is going to have the same thing,
that's the beauty of it. That's
right?
my favorite. I know it sounds so, but that's my favorite part with boutique shopping is not everyone they don't have 50 of the same dress,
Right.
70 of the same dress, and this, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You can
So
go in
that
there and
is
find something especially for you. Yes.
especially for you and something you totally like. And that's great to say that with the financial services. So then it's not a cookie cutter. When I walk into you, you're looking at me
Hmm.
and what I need, what I need to invest in, how can I build wealth? And then Joey can walk in and you're going to look at Joey differently. And our services may not be the same. It's very
Hmm.
individualized. And that is what's great about this. And someone may say, well, all taxes are individual. No, not
It's
all of them.
not. It's
It's
not.
not.
No.
It's not.
I like to tell people, someone asked me the other day, oh, tax advisory is such a competitive market. What's so different and special about you? And I had to stop them and just let them know that all tax advisory services are not the same. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people think that they are, but they're coming from a point of reaction.
Mm.
The beauty about the Gordon Group is we take a more proactive approach. Okay. And then we add that no judgment zone. Okay. So it's not all the same. It's not all the same. And then we work from hundreds of strategies, not just your typical retirement and go on. This is really about saving you in taxes, but also building wealth, building a better life, building a better outcome for
Um,
yourself.
so then it's for entrepreneurs, it's for personal, it's for you could be in ministry, it's everybody. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what your businesses or your profession, let's say, you can really serve anyone. And it's
Yes,
just building that to exactly who that person or what their needs may be. Um,
yes.
yeah. So tell me, what are three things that you can share with us that we're coming to, this is what, December, we're like 10, is it 10 days, maybe a little less, maybe 1 or 2 days difference, that we really need to know as we're moving towards the ending of the year and
Mhm.
jumping into the new year. And we all got all this, we're future focused, we want to,
Yes.
and so but we need to make sure that we've got some things in order.
Yeah, so just a couple of goodies here. What my favorite thing is planning. So as a business owner, one of the hottest deductions of this year is something called this Section 179 and bonus depreciation. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to take an immediate deduction for things that you've bought, like equipment, furniture and fixtures, vehicles, and all of that. And it's really, really, really buildings, really beneficial to a lot of business owners who are spending. So that's one of the things that's a really hot topic. If you're going to purchase any equipment and anything like that, you're saying, oh, I'll wait till the next year. Now is the time,
So
especially with
equipment, like, give me an example of equipment, if you don't mind.
if you're a baker, an oven, you know,
Yeah.
if you're, I guess if you're just a regular entrepreneur, maybe you want to buy a printer, you want to buy new computers in your office. All of these things are good
Okay.
examples to buy, right? I have another client who just kind of bought a building earlier this year. So as long as they're placed in service before year end, you get to enjoy that Section 179. And let's not forget
Place
about
and service mean that it's in your building and you're using it.
you're using it, yes, in this
Gotcha.
current
Okay.
year,
Yes.
yes. And
Yes.
let's not forget about the retirement strategies. There are all types of retirement strategies, and there's something for everyone. And in those retirement strategies, of course, is the opportunity to put away for the future, but also to build wealth.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's not forget about those. Just trying to think of some other things. Well, basically, again, I'll reiterate what I said earlier. Now is the time to build a relationship. Look into spending more time with your financial professional, and don't forget about that good cash flow.
Good.
Okay, it's a way for your business to be stable and profitable, and gives you an opportunity to make informed decisions about where you want to be and where you want to go.
Awesome. Awesome. So listen, everyone, this is, those are several steps that she's giving you to where you can look at as we're approaching the ending of the year, which is exciting for me as I just got a new printer and all that stuff. It's like, oh, good. Oh, good. But listen, we want to make sure that you can connect with Rosaline. So let me give you her information. She's on Instagram. So her Instagram is hello, I am Rosaline Gordon. And that is Rosalinegordan. I am Rosaline Gordon, right?
DON.
Don, I'm sorry, Don. So I am Rosaline Gordon, and we're going to put it all in the mail so where you can hear it. Also, her email address is at info@the eggfs.com, where you can also email her. And again, we'll put all of her information there. You want to connect, have questions, make sure that you reach out to her. I'm going to tell you her phone number as well, her office number. It is 732-515-3944. That is the Gordon Group Financial Services, and they will be able to help you answer any questions. And don't forget, I'm Dr. Esther Graham. Please connect with me for Life by Design podcast. My Life by Design retreat is coming up in Dubai in May 4th through the 11th. You don't want to miss this. This is a retreat that is none like no other. It's personal, it's business, it is everything. It's making powerful connections. It's a soul searching, it's a rejuvenation, it's a resetting, it's a reset so educational, so powerful. So make sure that you connect to me at www.fddwomen.com, and you can get all of your information there. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful holiday season. Be safe, be kind, be loving. Get your taxes all together. Take some time to do that. Connect with Rosaline Gordon, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye. In the
Talk to
new
you
year.
soon.
In the new year. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to Living a Life by Design, the journey back to you, and living 365 days of purpose with host Esther Graham. Listen or watch live every second and fourth Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific on transformationtalkradio.com. Discover that what is possible is already in you. God designed a phenomenal life for you. Esther helps you ignite that energy behind your personal journey for a deeper joy and peace, living 365 days of purpose. For more information on living a life by design, visit fddwomen.com.